Fingers and toes crossed that I've remembered how to do this. No, something's happening. We have activity. Well, we have an image on the screen. Do we have sound, though? That's the important thing to ask. Can you hear me? Am I coming out of both speakers? Right. Wait for the lag to catch up. Thanks, Matthew. Yes, we are. Right, there we go. Hello, everyone. Sorry it's been so long since I did a bit of live streaming. I had to do like a restore on this computer a while back. I was having some Bluetooth issues, and the only thing I had not put back to the way I needed it was OBS. I'd reinstalled it, I just hadn't put all my settings and everything on it. But I think we're okay now. Hang on, someone just left. My left, not my right. Yeah, that's the thing what I was asking. Right, how did I fix this last time? There may be a brief restart while I fix this. Many apologies. Settings. Audio. Channel stereo. That's probably what I've done wrong. Apply. Right, I will see you in a moment. Right, we're back. So how do I sound now? Still one ear? Both? Mysterious third ear? Right, it's coming out of both ears. Okay, there we go. See, the thing is, I was sure I'd selected mono, because I'm only using one microphone, and never mind. Well, it's working now. Loud and clear, there we go. Ah, see, Erica's got the third ear there. I wouldn't brag too much about that if I were you, dear. Okay, good, good. Well, just as usual, chat and various other things. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask us at work. I'm going to be colorizing this picture here. It's really just a way to keep me occupied while I'm chatting. Oh, headphones, yes. I've had a bit of an issue with headphones recently. I had to purchase a new set. Got a lovely set of, is it Bose? Is that what it's called? Bose lovely noise cancelling headphones. I was very happy with them, but there was a minor issue that cropped up within a day of having them, in that the noise cancelling was way louder, the hiss, in one ear than it was the other. So I thought that's annoying. Tried all the troubleshooting steps, and didn't fix it. Well, okay, I've just got them, so they can replace them. And so I went on, and it was fairly easy to get them to replace them, and they were quite quick at sending the replacement. However, by the time the new ones arrived, the problem seemed to have fixed itself. But I packaged them up and sent them back anyway, which is what I did today. I went out today to the local post office with the old set, well, not really an old set, but the dodgy set all wrapped up, and I sent them off. They are a bit pricey, which is why I didn't have the patience to mess around with them. That's why they went straight back. But it's my Christmas present to myself, which is sad, but they sound good. It was the Quiet Comfort 35, I think they were, and they're really good. When I compare them to the Sennheiser ones that I had, which were a little bit cheaper, that I got earlier in the year, which I really liked. They were comfortable, they looked good, but I had a lot of problems with them, and I should have just sent them back as well, which is why I didn't mess around with these ones. But it's too late to send them back to Amazon, and I kind of invalidated the warranty by opening them up myself, so I can't send them back to Sennheiser. But when I compare the two of them, when the Sennheiser was working normally, the Bose ones are actually much, much better. Sound quality is just as good, maybe a little bit better, but the noise cancellation is so good in comparison, it really is. I must say, Bose do noise cancellation really well. And that's the end of this not sponsored segment of the video, of the stream. The Ducks and the Dragon, I got a teddy. Here's a Christmas present. Winter there. Yep, we're at the point now where things are a bit chilly. Cold enough that I've actually got the heating on and don't have my fan on as much. Ooh, almost dropped the keyboard. It's getting a bit icy here and there. I've got a snow shovel this year, all prepared. T2 Coin Seeker, thank you T2 Coin Seeker. Ooh, I just saw a message redacted. I just assumed you were cursing profusely, Emily. Hi, Joel. Oh, dear, 79 people. I think that's the biggest number I've ever had. Well, I got these ones because, like I say, my Sennheiser weren't working properly, and I had workmen in during the week. And I've got to say, these workmen didn't do a lot of damage that I was expecting. I wouldn't even have to decorate, well, I'll have to decorate my bedroom, but that was in pretty bad shape before they came anyway. But I knew there was going to be a lot of noise, and I don't really have anywhere to go. I don't like the idea of leaving the house anyway. So I thought, well, I need a good set of noise cancelling headphones, so I got these ones. They arrived quickly, and they did a great job because I was just sitting plopped in the living room watching QI for most of the day. I did go out briefly. My sister phoned me up and said, "Oh, you okay?" And I had to answer a call in nature, to be honest with you, and I couldn't get into my own bathroom because there was men replacing the windows. Hello, Fraser, do you have your own photo for your shows? I'm not sure I understand you, Erica. If you're talking about a face reveal of my hideous, hideous face, it's unlikely to happen. Apart from that accidental face reveal that no one noticed a few streams back. Did you get? I did, Matthew. I spent Saturday. I borrowed a cordless drill from my brother-in-law, and I've got a wire drill, but you really need a cordless drill for doing that sort of thing. And so I went around, spent all my Saturday putting up blinds and curtain rails, and the house looks really, really cozy now. I even put a curtain on the front door as well. Just kind of, it's one of those, just a single panel with a tie that pinches it in the middle so it doesn't block out the light too much. It's very nice. Know when the story you tell their picture. Hang on, I think I'm missing something here. Oh, do you mean, do I take the pictures with the camera that I use in my videos? Is that what you're asking? Sometimes I do, if there's something I need a specific picture of. Like I needed a picture of a bunch of coins once. So I went through my little tin that I threw all my change in. And, okay, I'll follow you now. So I do take a few of them now and again. Most of them are linked in the description, unless it's one of my own. What I'm actually doing is I'm saving up all my pennies for my Patreon supporters. And I'm hoping to get, it's a Canon something. It might be 70D or whatever the equivalent is right now. It's just that I need a camera that ideally I can take really good pictures with, but that I can also use for recording video with as well. My hope is one day I don't want to dangle that in front of you. If I ever decide to actually put myself on camera, I want a good camera for it, so you can see me in all my glory. Coral Juarez, I am not suffering from demonetization. Believe me, you would have heard about it if I was. It does look like a lot of the channels affected by it are getting things back. Yeah. And the really screwed up thing about cameras is when you find the camera you like, you think, oh, that's a good oh, the lens is separate. Then the lens in many cases is as much as the camera body is. This is one I restored. I think was it the last stream I did, or maybe the stream before. I did a restoration on it. Well, more or less, you can see a very thin scratch there, and I'm going to attempt to do a bit of colorization on this one this time. Just let me go back. Oh yeah, to answer Coral Juarez. I think a lot of folks that were suffering from it very happy to see the issues being resolved now. Not for everyone, but it seems that we're getting there. Like William Wallace from Braveheart. Well, even William Wallace didn't look like William Wallace from Braveheart. Okay, let's see. Elizabeth Harrington, what are you going to do for Christmas? Well, let's get started as I'm chatting here. So there's a bit of activity going on the screen, eh? Oh, sure, the mouse picks now to crap out on me. Come on, you're meant to have all sorts of fancy functions. Nope, okay. Now, and what I usually do on Christmas is I've got a very simple Christmas for me. I'll sleep in late, then I'll get up, and if I've got something to go in the oven, I'll pop that in the oven. If not, then I'll wait till I get back. Then gather any presents I have to take round, and I take them round to my sister's house and give them out. It's just my niece and nephew that get presents, and I spend a bit of time there, pet the dog, tell them to leave me alone, and then I come back home and I take my time making dinner. And then when dinner's ready, I sit down and watch Doctor... Oh, wait, no, I won't watch Doctor Who, because there isn't one this year. Well, I'm sure I'll find something to do. There's a new episode of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina I haven't watched yet. Haven't seen the Doctor Who finale. And I think... Well, I know there's a new episode of Upstart Crow. It's a very weird comedy show. It's about William Shakespeare, and there's meant to be a new episode at some point. I'm not sure what day it airs though. Rachel, you don't really have any content. Will be well. That's the issue. A lot of the folks that sort of thing's happening to, they don't either. Really, I mean. Everybody was very concerned. The chat's just zipping by. I hope I'm not missing. I got the cameras. Answered the Christmas Day one. Answered the thingy one. Okay. Metajaden, thank you very much. Happy holidays to you as well. Someone's eating Quality Street. I was out shopping today, actually. I dropped that parcel off at the post office to go back to Amazon. Then I decided, well, I'll get everything I need for dinner on Christmas Day. So I got a nice bit of steak. I used to have turkey, but I kind of just got fed up with that. So the last few years, I've generally got a bit of steak. And I've got all my veg, I've got my pudding. Nothing fancy. I used to get, they used to do these lovely Thornton's toffee fudge cakes. They were really nice, little bits of fudge. And I generally get something like that because it's just a once a year kind of thing. But the fact is, a lot of the time I just prefer a nice jam roly-poly with custard. So I got that for pudding, which I might not even eat on a Christmas Day because if I'm too stuffed, I might wait till the following day. And I think I get everything else. The only thing I need to do is buy fresh potatoes, but I'll do that later in the week. Okay, let's see. Koala Knight, are you taking... I'm always taking subscriber stories. It's just if you do send me one and I don't use it right away, please don't be offended. I generally will use most subscriber stories. There's only a very small number of exceptions to that. And it might take me a while. Embarrassingly, it's taken me a year or two in some cases when I've actually used them. The person's forgotten to send me it. And they go, oh, I'd forgotten about that. Thanks so much. But yeah, so if you have any stories, please do send them to kingofthecities@gmail.com. And I'll pop them in the rotation. Okay, let's see. My Christmas card, Johanna Bloomberg. My Christmas card ruined because they didn't release a new season of The Crown on Netflix. I don't think I've seen that one. I've been rewatching Bones on Amazon Prime, and I'm just about the point where the show started to annoy me, so I might actually end up stopping watching again, like I did the first time I watched it. And watched Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Altered Carbon on Netflix. Oh, I've been watching Ash vs. Evil Dead. That popped up there recently. It was really good. Okay. Hannah, hey, you read out my glitch story a couple of weeks back, thanks so much. This live stream is perfect timing for calming me down enough to sleep before a really important German oral exam tomorrow. Well, good luck, Hannah, I hope it goes well. Do I know any German? Only a few words, so I can't really wish you good luck in German. I can say schnell, schnell. But don't do that. Take your time. Coral Juarez. I've not seen my fam in 7 months. Ah, well, I hope you do see them this weekend, Coral. I really do. Any plans for Christmas stories? Not currently planning anything. I've been a little sick, and I don't want to jinx it, but I'm feeling a bit better. It is amazing what a course of antibiotics will do for you. And while I'm not 100%, I'm at least able to wake up and get out of bed without any great struggle right now. I was way more tired than normal, as well as some trouble with my throat. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything Christmassy. If I do, it might be a couple of poems or something, maybe a short story, but nothing too major. I mean, I've been sick, to give you an idea, I've been sick since just before Halloween, and I'm only just starting to feel better. It's because I waited about 5 weeks, I think, to see if I would get better, crossing my fingers and toes, hoping it would just go away, but it didn't, and that actually affected what I was doing on Halloween, because you'll remember I did the 10 days of Halloween, and I did 10 days of Halloween, and I managed to get it done, but the stories I did there, they weren't the ones I was planning on doing. I had to pick shorter ones so I could get it done. Are there any traditional foods y'all eat for Christmas? Well, speaking for myself, I don't know about everyone else in the chat right now. Just a shout out. Zenithird Nod just donated £5. Thank you very much. Hey, Hell Freezer, I work security. Lots of insane stuff has happened over my 14 years in it. Trying to remember some to send you. Well, any stories you send are always welcome, and security ones can often be quite interesting. Many strange characters encountered. And what was I saying? Christmas foods. Well, generally, at least in my family, there was a tradition of every Christmas you'd get, well, beyond the obvious stuff like turkey for Christmas dinner, you'd always get in certain things like shortbread, and that's a tradition I've generally kept up. And you usually get some kind of Madeira cake as well. And after eights were very popular in my house. I haven't gotten the Madeira cake or the after eights yet, but I have gotten some yummy things. I picked up a little, those macarons, the little coloured things with the different fillings. I picked up a thingy of mini ones today. Finally, after years of actually buying them occasionally on markdown in the local supermarket, I managed to actually find where they kept them in the store. Because I looked and looked, and I could only ever find them on markdown, and they don't take a lot off them. So I got myself some of those as a treat for allegedly Christmas Day, but they might get eaten later. We'll see. Okay. Oh, no. Pause on me now, tablet. Okay. Answered the Christmas food. Oh, bugger, did I leave that door? Is the clock annoying anybody? Because I can get up and close the door if it is. I actually had the door closed, but I was getting ready for the chat, and I thought, okay, I'll get things set up about 7:30 in time for an 8 p.m. start, my time. And then I realised, oh no, I'll have to redo all my settings because I had to reinstall all the software. Then I kept forgetting things. Then I sat down, okay, I'm ready now. I was like, no, I forgot the tablet so I can actually see the chat while we're going by. It's one thing after another. Pigs in blank. Is that basically as little sausages and bacon? I've actually got a little packet of cocktail sausages beside me for snacks. I was considerate this time with my snacking. I made sure I wouldn't get anything too crunchy. I actually like sprouts. Yeah, sprouts are something that I hated when I was younger, but I've kind of gradually come to appreciate them. But I guess your taste buds do change as you get older. Holmoris, where I'm from, there are so many evil spirits and practices, and the strange occurrences which take place. Give a shout out to Rob Marley and his kids. Thank you kindly. Oh, you draw together. Oh, that is nice. That is really good. Sitting down with their family. Hi, Steph. And hello to the rest of Texas. Do you like the English? I literally have nothing against the English in any way. I think realistically, the hatred between the Scots and the English has become more of a playful dislike for the most part over the years. We might make occasional comments, but the same way you'd make fun of your family, your brothers and your sisters. I mean, because we live right next to each other, what else are we going to do? Pickle is a sausage and a biscuit. I thought it was just wrapped bacon. Oh, wait, no, it's like pastry around it, like, is it like puff pastry? Is that what it is, if I'm thinking right? It looks like Regina's having some sort of seizure. Someone check on her, please. Yeah, I think you're really only going to hear the ticking of the clock if you've got headphones on. Belly of the Beast, I'm pregnant and poorly at the moment. Is that why that name? Oh, never mind. And your videos really help calm me and get me to sleep. Thank you kindly, Beastie. Oh, hi, Bad Vibes. Thanks for stopping in. Hot dogs wrapped in biscuit dough, okay. I think it sounds like pigs in blankets vary from country to country. Smells, can you do a reading of some messed up Reddit posts? Ask Reddit at some point. Well, as with everything, it's a matter of tracking down tracking down permission. So I couldn't just go through like a whole thread, because I'd have to ask every single person who'd made a comment. How easy do you believe the stories you narrate? I always believe that what people are telling me is true. I believe that something's happened to them. I think I'd be arrogant to just dismiss some of the... Oh, car going by. Yeah, you take your time. I think it'd be very arrogant to just dismiss the ones that sound a bit more fantastical, not having experienced it myself. Do they always have a supernatural explanation? Well, no, maybe not, but something always happened. And I've seen plenty and experienced a number of small weird things in my life that, while I can try to rationalize and I can try to explain away in as logical and Vulcan-like a fashion as I can, those are only comforting explanations, and you can never be sure. Cubicle Bear, go to your room and think about what you just did. No supper for you. Say this because mouse is being a dick. Kim Smell shows the one video that never fails to make you laugh. I can't show you it because I would lose my live streaming privileges for showing videos, even ones on YouTube. But I'll tell you, you can find it yourself. Look up The Letter by Stephen Fry. It always makes me chuckle. Next, if I start showing videos, it actually happened to one of my favourite reviewers, horror reviewer by the name of Count Jacula. Poor fellow lost his streaming privileges for 90 days for basically because he goes on, he chats to people, and he'll bring up various subjects, and while they're talking about the subjects, he'll bring up videos and things to illustrate what they're talking about, and they then discuss them. But because it was stuff that other people own the rights to, he lost his streaming. So he does it on Twitch now. I assume he'll be back to YouTube at some point. What was that again? The name of the thing is The Letter by Stephen Fry. YouTube, your main source of income? It is. YouTube, then I get a little bit from Patreon. I'm looking to actually move into audiobooks next year. I'm going to start sending out editions through ACX, which is the Audible website, where authors come along looking for producers. So, and you get paid two ways there. You either get paid a sliding rate. It's per completed hour, and it really depends on what the author is willing to offer. Some of them are quite low, some of them are quite high. And say it was like £100. Excuse me. say it was like £100 per completed hour, and it was an 8-hour book, you'd make £800 for making that book. Or you can get a royalty share, which in some cases might actually be a better option. Have you ever found a story for a neckbeard point of view? I've found a few. I'm trying to think. I'm currently in the process of sourcing neckbeard stories for use in this Sunday's video. Do I have one of those? I've seen ones of like recovering neckbeards. I'll have to check to see which ones I have. I don't know if I've got any like that though. Well, the cool thing about that is when you hire someone, when you're an author who hires someone to do your book, you're hiring. It works out really well financially because you're not just hiring an actor, you're hiring an actor, an engineer, a producer, a director, an editor, all in one person. So you're really getting a lot of bang for your buck. And that's my plan. So I'll plan on doing that next year, and hopefully I need to be able to. So what I might end up doing is when I'm getting the gigs, I might take the occasional break of like a week from the channel, or I'll just reduce the videos I do over the course of a couple of weeks, depending on what the ETA on any project I've taken on is. So I can then knock out a few audiobooks a year. And it's the idea of not putting all your eggs in one basket. Hi there, Andrew. How are you doing? Let's see. Someone was asking me about psoriasis. Are you on any sort of treatment for your psoriasis? My best friend takes Stelara and methotrexate for her. Yeah, they've got me on something called Dovanex. Or rather, they've got me on the generic version of it. Man, it helps a bit. It's not great, it's not awful. I also use something called Silcus on occasion for like the face area. And I've actually, interestingly, I was setting up for this live stream and I walked past the front door and there was a letter there. I was okay, I hadn't noticed it earlier. I took it out and it was an appointment made for the doctor. I was like, I was starting to worry. I was like, I haven't asked for any appointments. What is this for? And then I see it's the dermatology clinic. So I thought, oh well, maybe it's a follow-up. So I called up the number. Thankfully, they were still open. Well, it was about an hour ago. They were still open, and hi, Belly of the Beast. Good night, Belly of the Beast. And I phone up and I asked, sorry, my throat's getting all thingy. And I asked what it was about, and they said, oh well, what they do is actually just this. It'll be like a follow-up thing, because it's been quite a few months. So there's that. Annoying thing is, I did have phototherapy treatments at the dermatology department in the hospital earlier in the year, which really cleaned up most of it. Did a really good job of it. But unfortunately, it's all back. So, yeah. I was feeling quite good about myself for a while there, but no, it all came back. Doesn't feel as bad as it did last time, it's just it's in all the usual places. Peep Show, In-Betweeners, RT Crowd, 8 out of 10 cats. I think I've seen 2 of those things. I've got a bottle of Lucozade next to me called Caribbean Crush. I was looking for cherry, but I couldn't find it at the local shop, so forgive the hiss sound. I'll crack this open. Forgive the sounds of me gushing Lucozade everywhere. Just a little bit, not too bad. Better. Okay. Your voice is like warm butter. You're like a Scottish Morgan Freeman. Thank you, Cubicle Bear. Okay, I think I missed a few things. Let's catch up. I don't have Netflix at the moment, but I want to get Netflix early in the new year. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite enjoying Netflix. Even although they're going to be losing all the Marvel shows, they haven't cancelled Jessica Jones and Punisher yet, but they will. It's obvious they're going to. But yeah, even then, I'm still enjoying a lot of the other content they've got, so I like they keep it. Julie Alanas, have you tried an elimination diet to see if any of his triggers rises? Yeah, I've been just kind of gradually cutting things out. I know for a fact that caffeine really aggravates it. So I've cut way back on caffeine. Not out completely. I've got to have some joy. Carly, are you still working on your Sherlock Holmes script? I haven't done anything for a while, but it is still on my list of things to complete. I'm not sure what I'm going to end up doing with it. Will I perform it myself? Will I start calling in favors? Or maybe I'll pitch it to YouTube Premium and they can hire people to make it. I'm only half joking about that one. Hello, Quarries. I didn't know they were getting rid. Yeah, they have. They've cancelled. Unsurprisingly, they've cancelled Iron Fist because I hear season 2 was better, but season 1 was so bad. I don't think a lot of people just were willing to give it a chance. Yeah, but Iron Fist is gone. Luke Cage was cancelled pretty quickly thereafter. That one was a little bit of a surprise because even though I found season 2 of Luke Cage to be much weaker than season 1, the problem for me was they had Bushmaster as a villain, and he was really good, but they didn't focus enough on him. They spent too much time focusing on Shades and Black Mariah, two people who were so boring they put me to sleep, so to speak. And so if the sole focus had been on Bushmaster and given him a different motivation, it might have been better, because I really liked the actor they hired. He did a good job. I can't fault Mike Coulter because he was as good as he was previously. It's just this season overall fell flat in comparison to season 1. And yeah, they also recently, for those who hadn't heard, they've cancelled Daredevil. That was a major shock to everybody because I think most people involved thought, yeah, it's most likely to come back, and apparently it was one of their more popular shows. And they've just wrapped, I think, on the next season of Jessica Jones, and I'm sure there'll be a season 2 of Punisher. And they haven't announced those cancellations yet, I think, because they want to make sure people will at least watch them when they put them up. So yeah, I'm assuming once they air, presumably next year, you'll very quickly get the cancellation announcement after it. What I suspect is happening is it's been said that it was Netflix's decision to cancel them, but from what I hear, I'm not sure how long the deal lasted, but I've heard a rumor. This is just a rumor, so take it with a pinch of salt. That Marvel couldn't use those characters until 2020. So it's possible that Netflix got the impression that, you know what, Disney's doing its own Marvel streaming service. They're probably not going to renew these contracts when they come up, so we may as well save ourselves some money, cancel them now, and we can then funnel that money towards doing our own more original projects. I suspect that's the case. I don't know that for sure, but I figure that's what's most likely to happen. But once those deals do expire, I'm assuming we'll probably see those actors playing those characters in other projects. Maybe we'll get Heroes for Hire on the Disney streaming service. Maybe we get a Spider-Man Daredevil movie, or at the very least, maybe the third or the fourth Spider-Man film with Tom Holland will have Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk, because they're gonna be hard pressed to find another actor who can humanize and personify Kingpin in quite the same way that man has. What made you start YouTube? I would come home on my days off from work, and I'd plop myself in the couch and listen to narrators, and I really liked what they did, and I thought, oh, I wish I could do that, or rather, I wish I had the equipment to do that, and eventually I decided, screw it, I'll work with what I've got, give it a go, and I took a chance, and people seemed to like what I did. What's the one scary story you've read that seriously freaked you out? I am so close to having like 1,000 videos on this channel, so all the stories blur together for me at one point. Nothing jumps out specifically. Maybe the corduroy jouster. That was a weird one. Criminal Minds. I watched a few episodes of that. It was way back when Mandy Patinkin was still in it. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. It was fine. I haven't seen Zoo. I've seen most of American Horror Story. I haven't seen Freak Show. I watched the first two and I just couldn't get into Freak Show, so I skipped the rest. I watched the first half of Roanoke, and then they switched to that kind of found footage style, which I really, really dislike. So I didn't bother watching the rest of that, but I've seen every other one, and by and large, I generally enjoy American Horror Story. Santa Clarita Diet, I couldn't get into it, and I really wish this stopped recommending it every time I watch iZombie. Criminal Minds ended. I thought that was still on. I know they got rid of Thomas Gibson because he was a bit tasty with his fists, but I thought it was still on. What are the odds that while I'm looking for this one Dutch series name from Google, Alfreezer says Holland? Oh, Tom Holland, right. Yeah, I think I'm either 4 or 2 away from hitting the 1,000 videos mark. Thank you, Black Star. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Personally, David Tennant is my favourite actor, says Gavio Green. Yeah, Tennant's really good. I mean, I really enjoyed it. He's not my favourite of the Doctor Who's, but I really did enjoy him. And he was really impressive, I think, when he played the Purple Man, Kilgrave, on Jessica Jones. Although I have heard him do American accents, he seems to struggle a little bit with those. Although it may have just been that it just sounded so unusual coming out of him. Looking forward to Good Omens next year, though. Him and, make sure I get this right, Michael Sheen. I always mix him and Martin Sheen up just because they've got the same last name. Going to be out next year at some point. Don't know when, but sometime next year. Yeah, I've seen Gabriel Green. I've seen every episode apart from the most recent one. Right, hang on to fix this. The mouse isn't doing its job. There we go. I mean, it's an old half-broken mouse, but it should still be working. There we are, that's what I'm looking for. Right, hopefully that's it now. There we go. Johanna Bloomberg, Tabula Rasa. I don't think I've seen that one. One moment. I'm going to open this packet of tiny sausages that I have. Sorry, headphone users. That's better. Bye, Gabriel Green. Thanks for stopping in. Hope work goes well for you. Right, now we can actually get a bit of thingy done. Don't know what was up with that, but there we go. Let's start there. It's usually a good place to start. Now, I think my dad actually had tinted glasses in this, so I'll have to be wary. That's the wrong tool. It's out of 70s pictures of you. Well, I wasn't born until 1981, so yeah. Then this is my mother and father. Shayla says, I know you're always taking stories from subscribers. Have you ever thought about also inviting your subscribers to send you artwork or pictures to use? People do offer sometimes, but it's usually they're offering like you want to do like thumbnails and things like that. The only problem with that is I kind of do my thumbnails based on the video I've just made, like literally as it's exporting, so it's not really convenient. But if someone sends artwork or pictures or just a little illustration they've done along with the story they've submitted, then yeah, I'll use that because it's always easier for me because it saves me the trouble of having to source something and verify that it's actually safe to use. Someone is asking for baby pictures. Yeah, there's a couple here. I have to be careful I don't show you pictures that aren't of me though. Right, we'll see, that one's not me. No, that's not a baby. That one might be me. In fact, I'm fairly sure it is. Just make sure I'm going to show you pictures of my family. I'm not showing you ones that are too recent. Yeah, that's me and my sister. And that's my teddy bear. Coral Juarez, how old? I'm 37. I really should have brought my good mouse down to do this, but oh well. We'll work with what we have. Do you speak any other languages? Just a few words of Spanish, not much at all though. You see it shaking around. You think that was my hand, but it's not. It's just the mouse. The tracking's a bit off on this. Kim smells one. Does it feel weird that a bunch of strangers are interested in your life? It feels kind of strange to me asking loads of questions, but I'm procrastinating. Well, no, people can be interested, as long as they're not too pushy, and I'm not going to share anything I'm uncomfortable sharing. I mean, I think I've been very clear on that one. So, no, it doesn't bother me at all. I wouldn't be making myself available if I wasn't willing to answer. Oh, that's not too bad. Johanna Blumberg, if one day I were to make a cover pick for your channel, perhaps a seasonal, would you accept and use it? As long as I had full right to use it in writing. Yeah, probably. Sorry, Rose, did I miss a face reveal? Nope. Well, kind of, but everybody else did. Hello, Taste of Honey. second. Someone asked a question I missed it. Where was it? Oh, the 11277. Do you play any online games, be it on the phone, PC, PS4, stuff like that? Do I play any online games? Not for a while. I did buy an online game. Although I bought it because it was on sale and I was hoping they'd introduce a single person mode. I used to play DC Universe online. And when I got to level 30 I became kind of bored with it. Used to be the Solar Strider in that. It was basically kind of like a Bizarro Superman type character. And every once in a while I'll dip in and play Star Trek Online. Can't remember the name of my captain in that. I think it starts with a T? Can't remember. And the one I bought recently was Friday the 13th, the game, which you kind of need to be online to play. But I've not actually played it yet. Todd Jones says, yeah, I'm eating cocktail sausages. Jacqueline L. I don't usually listen with earbuds in, and so it took me ages to figure out that the mouse clicking is yours and not mine. It's annoying when you keep hearing something and you think, hang on, is that happening here? Is it? Oh, it's in there. Okay. You interested in true crime? Yeah, now and again I go down the rabbit hole and I'll end up watching videos on serial killers or reading articles about them. I then type into Google, I am not a serial killer, I'm just doing research, just in case. Yeah, I think cocktail sausages are basically Vienna sausages, I think. Hey, Hail Bruiser asks when you're doing another live stream and then I miss half of it. Well, it will be archived later, so you won't be able to comment live, but you'll at least be able to, hear and see other people's comments. Thing is, I wasn't really planning on doing any until next year, but like I said, eventually I caved, and I managed to get through and make a doctor's appointment. And the doctor, I just said, I think I've got a throat infection, and the doctor checked my heart. He said it sounds okay. There was a lot of activity in my chest, i.e. I could feel and hear my heart, when you really shouldn't be able to do that. And they changed my acid reflux. No, he changed my medication for my acid reflux. This is all very exciting, I know, and put me on like the one out of all the ones I hadn't tried, and gave me an antibiotic, clarithromycin, if anyone's wondering it was, and that's helped quite a bit. So I think ultimately my problem was just it was a throat infection. I'm just glad it didn't get as bad. The really annoying thing is I got a throat infection last year as well. Near the same time, but thankfully it didn't mess me up as badly as it did last year. Yeah. But, like I say, I finished the antibiotics last week, and I started to notice I'm actually feeling a bit better. My throat feels still a bit rough, but not as bad. I've got more energy. So I was starting to think maybe I could do a live stream at some point this week, but I didn't want to promise it too much in advance in case I jinxed myself. But I was sitting tonight after I got home, and I thought, you know what, I'm not tired, the house is in order. Well, I could do with vacuum and dust and things like that, but, the house is in order, and, so I'll put up a little notification a couple hours beforehand, and here we are live streaming. Oh, I've tried all sorts of things for the acid reflux. I've got a couple of jars of raw honey in there, and it tastes yummy, but I don't know if it's helping any, but it tastes very, very yummy. And I've tried apple cider vinegar. It literally did nothing for me, although it's quite nice tasting vinegar. But, just eat smaller meals. That's one thing that really helps when it's really bad. Kind of sleep on a pile of pillows. Just do what you can, and obviously lose weight, which is something I'm continually working on. Hopefully, over the course of the next year, I'll be able to get that done. No, I've got a hiatal hernia, diagnosed many years ago, and that seems to be what's causing the reflux issues. But the thing is, it never used to be a major problem. Then I got a little worse, and then I got worse and worse, and it's because anytime I put on weight, it goes. And I'm not huge or anything, but I'm bigger than I'd like to be, and it just gives me more motivation to lose weight. To be honest with you. I'm just glad that it didn't get as bad this time as it did last year, because last year I had to stop working, and these months for a YouTuber are the absolute best months for revenue. They really are, and so I lost quite a bit last year. I'm not actually sure what I weigh. There was a time I've got scales there. I was weighing myself rather obsessively. The last time I had health issues, and I was like, you know what, you need to, you're okay. Put the scales away and just calm down. And it was the best thing I did. I tend to obsess over things a lot very easily. It's a trait I'm trying to get rid of. Hey, human skin tones. Hi, Carrie Ann. Thanks for joining us. Just remember, the bigger you are, the harder it is for someone to abduct you. Oh, no one's going to abduct me. I'm just not pretty enough. Oh, that's over an hour already. Time really does whoosh by in these things. Let's shoot for about 2 hours, and we'll see after that. Someone mentioned hookers. Suddenly it piqued my interest. Yeah, look, I'd like to think if somebody is going to abduct me, it's because they think I'm rather pretty, but I don't see it happening. Hey, excuse me. Yes, traffic. Some of us are trying to live stream in here. Did you consider there were YouTubers in this area? So rude. I can't wait till all the cars are electric. And they're all very quiet. And they also drive themselves. I may actually get a car then. What did I... New layer, that's what... And we'll... Oop, that's an eraser. Can't paint with an eraser. 2018, we should have better modes of transportation. And quite frankly, it's we were all promised jetpacks and flying cars by now. I feel like we were lied to. And where are the robot servants? I mean, sure, that they'll overthrow us one day, but they could at least make me breakfast before then. Should be living like the Jetsons. Says Coral Juarez. Nope. Yeah, I mean Tesla, but I'm sure someone's going to make a more cost-effective. In fact, I think somebody already has made a more cost-effective electric car. Can't remember the manufacturer though. It wasn't Prius, was it? No, I think maybe they started with an S. I'm sure there was some other company that had made a cheaper, more efficient all-electric car. Hey, look, Superman says that flying is the safest way to travel. Superman wouldn't lie to us. I don't think it was Saab. It was like I mean, Tesla does a lot of different things, but this was an established car manufacturer. I just can't remember the name of them. So what is it? Yeah, I think a lot of the complaints I've heard about Tesla in regard to it almost got me killed. It's because people have been kind of messing around with, oh, this car drives itself, and then they do the thing they're told not to do and then almost get killed. I think it's situations like that. Maybe it was Fiat. Hi, Celia. Thanks, sir. I haven't been too great, but I'm not feeling too bad. He says as his voice leaves him. I'm not feeling too bad at the moment. Bit more energy, which is always good. Thanks for stopping in. Bye bye. Do you have a Johanna Bloomberg? Do you have a particular favourite in the series you make? I enjoy the funnier ones more than the others, to be honest with you. They always cheer me up when I do them. I mean, there's a lot more in terms of kind of vocal gymnastics when it comes to doing those ones than the others, because there are more voices required. But they also cheer me up more. Describe your perfect Christmas dinner. It's basically just roast potatoes, mashed potatoes, vegetables, gravy, and then some sort of meat. followed by a yummy pudding with custard, of course. Usually ambrosia. Or if it's not a tin of ambrosia, if I want hot custard, I'll usually get the Bird's Instant one, which is really nice. Not had it for a while though. Like music from Adventures in Retail. Yeah, it's called the George Street Shuffle. I tend to use that in most of the light-hearted videos. Jacqueline L, well, what is it you do that you're finding it hard to get through? Although, if you're looking for something cool to watch, I recommend I'm going to call her a young lady, but I don't actually know how old she is. Young woman named Dale Kingsmill. And she does mythology videos, does other things as well, but she does mythology videos on both her own channel and on the Geek and Sundry channel. At least she used to do them on Geek and Sundry. I don't know if she actually works for them anymore. But she's essentially just sitting down in front of the camera, retelling myths. A lot of them are Greek myths, which I really like and really into. And she does little illustrations as well to go along with them. Really good, really entertaining, and I've been watching them for the past few days. So, if you're looking for something interesting to do, and you've watched all my videos, and you're done with a live stream, you couldn't go wrong by checking out Dale Kingsmill. It's Dael, just in case you're wondering how it's spelled. She's Australian. Honey barbecue. Oh, that sounds nice. Honey barbecue glazed roast. Billing. Oh. Okay, sorry. I'm not laughing at you, Steph. It's just that, certain things you assume that people will always know. But custard. Well, how do I describe custard? It's basically a sweet sauce. Kind of there's a vanilla flavoring off of it, and it goes with desserts. It's like with cakes or pastries and things. Sometimes it'll be used as a filling, but I like it with, I mentioned a jam roly-poly earlier, which is basically it's a kind of a spongy type thing with jam in it, and I like to pour that over that. It's very, very yummy. It's usually made with eggs and many other ingredients, of course. But the Bird's one I mentioned, I'm fairly sure that's eggless because the man who invented it because his wife was allergic to eggs, which seems like a strange thing to be allergic to. But I guess everybody can be allergic to something or other, and so she couldn't enjoy custard. And I think she must have liked it, but she couldn't have it. So he concocted this eggless instant custard. Well, it's now instant, as something nice to do for his wife, which I thought was lovely. Hi, Spectre. Hell, Fraser. You're thinking of my cousin. 4:19 p.m. here. It is 9:20 here in the UK. Coral Juarez, do you cook? I do cook. I haven't actually. I mean, I make dinners and things, of course, and sometimes things from scratch. I haven't baked for ages, so it's been a long time since I've done that. I think there's a few things I'll need to get if I bake. I'll need to get a new sieve for sifting flour. And I've got a couple of baking tins there, but I don't like them. I think ones that are slightly smaller, but they can still kind of pop apart. Yeah, custard, or is it the creme anglais. It's referred to as English cream in France. I remember watching an episode of QI where Stephen Fry, he was explaining that they don't have, and this may be completely erroneous because they did get things wrong on that show now and again. He was explaining that they don't have a word for custard in France. So they call it just like creme anglais. And it goes, it doesn't exist. So naturally, the guests then start doing very, very bad French accents, talking about how things don't exist. You have forced me into an existential crisis. Hi, Paulina. Beliza Bubs, are you Scottish? I am indeed. Crypt Angel, oh man, I'm late. Well, we have about another hour left, I think. I usually like to go to about 2 hours. Rachel Kitchell, I knew a lady who was allergic to tap water. Oh, there must have been something in it. It'd be an awful thing. I mean, the water around where I live is actually quite good. We're really lucky that the tap water is perfectly drinkable. Do you make Christmas cookies or other holiday-related sweets on Christmas? No, not usually. Like I was saying, I haven't actually baked for ages. Might have to make tablets soon, because the local shop where I was getting it, they had one called Miss Tilly's tablet. It was really nice. They've only got a couple left, and for some reason they're out of date, but they've still got them in there. But tablet's not hard to make, you just need to be patient with it. A lot of sugar, condensed milk, butter, maybe a little actual milk just to kind of moisten the sugar a bit, then some sort of vanilla flavouring. Trying to bloom, do you like gingerbread? I do like gingerbread, yes. Who's your favourite celebrity chef? Oh, we should give them all a clip round the ear hole. They're too full of themselves. Don't like Gordon Ramsay. Too much arrogance. Let me think. Celebrity chefs I actually like. I used to quite like a show called, it was Rick Stein. Was it Food of the Sea or Fruits of the Sea? It was basically a seafood themed show. Rick Stein was quite good. Ainsley Harriott, he wasn't bad. In fact, we used to have a show here in the UK called, see if I'm getting this right, that Can't Cook, Won't Cook, where you'd have your celebrity chefs come on there, and there was quite a few of them I liked. I seem to recall a guy with a beard, can't remember his name, but a little guy. Anyway. Crypt Angel, Cell Freezer, how old are you? I'm 37 years old. I mean, I don't know what Ansel Harritt's doing these days, but I know he does have a range of couscous. And I think that shows the only reason I eat couscous is, oh, I wonder what that's like. Oh, it's actually not bad. Nicholas Milanov, favourite horror movie? Well, I can only give you favourite of the moment. I don't really do like all times. Currently, my favourite horror movie of the moment is... I think at the moment it's probably still Hush. It's one of those home invasion things. It was really well done. Have you ever watched Binging? I have watched Binging with Babish, yes. His stuff's actually quite good. I watched a lot of the ones where he tries to recreate food from TV shows. Like he did a steamed hams one, and I seem to recall he did a Frasier themed one as well at one point. What are you currently working on here? This is a picture of my mum and dad on their wedding day, hence the wedding cake, and I'm just working on doing a colorization of the picture. It's probably mostly going to be the wallpaper that gets colorized, because that dress is white, that's black, that's white, that's black. The hair would be brown, and maybe some of the flowers, but yeah, I have no idea what color the wallpaper was. I suspect gold and maybe green. We'll see. Did you ever watch Come and Dine With Me? I've seen bits of it. It's not something I sit down and watch, but I know my sister likes it, and when I was round at her house for whatever was round up, they did have it on at one point, so I watched a bit of it then. Looked okay. It's not really my kind of thing though. Avatar Lover 101. Do you see yourself as a character that survives a horror movie? Yes, because my first instinct is to kick the villain in the balls and run like hell. And not fall over. No, I'm not going to go into that spooky building. I'm just going to keep running. Or when the creepy old guy at the start of the film tells me, "Oh, you don't want to go up there. Oh, that's where those sexy teens got killed swimming last summer." I'm like, "Oh, okay, right. Well, I'll go to my plan B for a holiday destination." Into the woods when there's serial killers on the loose. It's a good way to get killed. What if kicking is not an option? Then I punch them in the balls. I throw... Just basically, their balls are going to get a lot of negative attention. Cryptangel, my girlfriend gets on my case about my love for revenge and getting even. She says it's not healthy. I showed her your Revenge is Ice Cream series, and now she understands. Excellent. If you were the villain, then what would you? Oh, my killing method would be kindness, and my weapon would be hugs. What if the psycho murderer is female? Trust me, male or female, if you get a kick to that area, it is gonna hurt. I haven't thought about this. I got a plan for surviving a serial killer. Mostly don't get killed. Resulting in 0 deaths. Well, the only death would be sadness. If you had to save the dog or the girl, who would you choose? I'd choose the girl, to be honest with you. It's not the right thing to say, I know, but I'd probably save the human being over the dog. Because the dog's more likely to be able to run away anyway, because they're smaller and wilier and can go places humans can't. Nope, I forgot to do hands. Handies. Nope, but always giving me stupid warnings, Photoshop. Just do your job. Error in connection? No, if you're talking about that thing that popped up on the screen, it's because I'd adjusted the opacity and I hadn't clicked away or something. That's what that was. Question: is paranormal and true paranormal the same thing? I think all my paranormal stories say true. I mean, there's fictional paranormal, certainly, like fictional stories, but the paranormal stories I put in my videos, the assertion is that they're all true. Okay, I just heard some sort of creaking coming from upstairs. I'm just going to assume that's the heating making things contract and expand and whatnot. Run? No, I can't run. I've got a live stream to do. Besides, it's all warm and cozy in here. What do you think of Dogman? I don't actually know what Dogman is. Avatar Lover, will you tell us a personal horror story in this live stream? No, I don't do story readings on live streams. What kind of cake is that? I have no idea. Okay, good night, Tina. Sleep tight. Avatar Lover 101. What's your biggest fear and phobia? I don't really have any phobias. How many siblings total? Just the one, an older sister. Caused the most mischief, my sister, probably. I was always a good boy. Oh. And the cocktail sausages are just about gone. That's the last two. What does your sister say about your channel? I think she's quite impressed. She thinks you guys are all very nice. I don't have a lot of meanie heads here, thankfully. There are always a few people who seem to do nothing but say negative comments, but I'm really lucky in comparison to some channels. Really lucky. I need brown for the hair. Goes there. Yeah, I think this mouse is on its last legs, actually. What do you want for Christmas? Nothing. I don't actually get presents anymore. Just a bit of barest hint of colour. Behave yourself, you. I have no idea what that is, but I think it might be green. Can you play some low-level music of your choosing? No, really, no. Unless it comes from the YouTube audio library, but even then I don't think it's worth the risk. I mean, it would be awesome if there was a loophole where I could show things like music or play music in the background as long as it was officially available on YouTube. But there isn't, so we must play our own music. Sing for us then. I might, if the mood takes me. In the town where I was born lived a man who sailed to sea. And we'll leave it there so that the content ID doesn't get me. Chan, yes, this is Mom and Pop Freezer. Here come all flat top, he come grooving up slowly, he got. And that's a few seconds of Beatles we can have. Do you watch MSTK3? No, I never really got into that. Right, let's basically do the wallpaper after this. Well, those ribbons there, I have no idea what colour they'd be. I think possibly silver. Well, the thing about Happy Birthday, that's kind of an interesting thing. It was it the tune was copyrighted? The words weren't? Or the words were and the tune wasn't, something like that. But anyway, for a while it was Warner Brothers claiming a copyright on it. until somebody thought, hang on, that doesn't sound right to me. So it turned out that not only, and I'm probably oversimplifying it here just for the sake of being succinct. Not only did they not have a legal right on it, they never really had a legal right on it. So it is officially in public domain. Happy birthday. So it can be used by anyone for any purpose now. And I'm curious as to what would happen with all the royalties people have been forced to pay to Warner Brothers. Again, I think it was Warner Brothers. Over the years, would they have to pay that money back? Would it be, well, don't charge again and we'll overlook it? British Fox, would you be interested in doing stories from medical professionals like docs, nurses, paramedics? Patients' names would be changed. I would be. I've tried in the past, but I had a hard time finding them. I would look to do a nurses' stories video. Well, that's the thing. It turned out it was probably in public domain for a lot longer than that. It's just these companies tend to play silly buggers when it comes to copyright, is what happens. Thank you, the Cezaloo. Well, you've got to be very careful because if something even looks like the hint of a Mickey, yeah, they will come after you. Right, doing this background is going to be interesting. It's going to be very detailed, so we'll see what we can come up with. Maybe kind of gold. I suspect it may have been gold. What's today's date actually? It's 18th. Well, only a week away from Christmas Day. Total over zombies. Well, I don't know. It really depends on the story and how well put together it is. Because zombies are pretty cheap to do. Zombie movies are pretty cheap and easy to do. But now and again, you'll find some good ones. I quite enjoyed Warm Bodies. That was a good take on it. Avatar lover, was your dad ever in a band? Yeah, he was. He was. Actually, I probably shouldn't show any pictures of him with his band because I don't know how the others in it would feel. Well, it's all a matter of how you tell the tale. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead was quite good. mean, as long as you do something different with the genre. A really good zombie movie that came out, it was a few years ago. I'm not sure how wide a release it got. It was called Fido. It's set in a world where zombies have essentially been domesticated. They've got these collars on them until Fido, who played by Billy Connolly of all people, his collar breaks. And oh, you know what? Actually, a really good zombie thing I can recommend was it was Cargo. It's based on a short film, and I believe it's made by the same people. It's a really good take on it. There's a little bit of the traditional zombie stuff in there, but it's essentially the story of this father who knows he's about to turn, and he's trying to get his little daughter to safety before he turns, because he knows if he can't just leave her with out in the open to defend herself because she's a little baby. So he's got to find people he can trust within the 48 hours before he turns into a zombie himself. Otherwise, she'll be in danger. It's a really good film. What's your favourite zombie movie? That's a hard one. You know, I think even after all these years, yeah, I think it's probably Dawn of the Dead, the original one, the Romero one. Although that being said, I do have a soft spot, although it wasn't as well received, for Land of the Dead, which had Simon Baker in it. Does making videos ever get stressful? Yeah, yeah, it does. World War Z I've never actually seen. The Walking Dead, I kind of lost interest in The Walking Dead years ago. I did start watching a couple of months back. I watched the first few episodes of Fear the Walking Dead, but once the whole zombie apocalypse thing was kind of, was just at the point of being in full swing, I thought, well, I've seen everything I need to see. I've probably seen the most interesting part at that point. Jen Child has made a request. It rubs the lotion on its skin. I don't know what that does for you, but best of luck. Does anybody else watch his videos so often you don't hear the accent anymore? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have an accent. Huh, how rude. And so on. Red Dead Redemption 2? No. I think that's console exclusive right now, isn't it? I have a PC. That's what I do my gaming on, so unless it comes out on that, probably not going to play it. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I've seen one of them. I can't remember if it was the one that George Clooney was in or not. I've seen one of them many years ago. I keep getting distracted by chat, which is kind of the main reason I'm here anyway. You always sound like Hannibal Lecter, but which Hannibal Lecter? Is it the Brian Cox one, where he goes, "Operator, I don't have the use of my arms. Could you dial a telephone number for me?" That's Hannibal Lecter. Or, he ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. That's also Hannibal Lecter. Or, "This cannibal you have him looking into. I think I can help Goodwill see his face." That's also Hannibal Lecter. Which one? Bye, Ara. Thanks for stopping in. Apologies to anyone who could hear my rumbly tummy there. Rumpelstiltskin. Now, dearie. Well, CanBX, before you quit your job, make sure you have something else you can go to, or at the very least, you have a financial cushion that will tide you over until you can find something else. You know, I used to like watching Once Upon a Time, but it became a bit too convoluted for my liking, dearie. She threatened to kill me. Yeah, you're going to need to take notes, dates and times, anytime something like that happens. If there's security footage, again, dates and times will help. If there's any like physical action to be documented, see if you can get co-workers to back you up in terms of stories and things. Contact HR, explain what's happening. While by and large the HR department doesn't give a rat's ass about employees, they will care about protecting the company. So if the manager is acting that out of turn with the threatening employees, they may not end up lasting there long. Yeah, but Campbell, if it's bad enough you need to quit, try and stick it out for now until you can find another job to go to. Then just go. Jen Child, thank you kindly, very much appreciated. She was mad I said no to working Christmas because my grandma has cancer and I wanted to be with her. Yeah, you should definitely call corporate. At the very least, just speak to someone. They'll be able to tell you your rights. Might help to have a look through the employee handbook if there is one. There might be something in there that helps you. I don't know if you're a member of a union. You might want to talk to your union representative as well. And in the meantime, maybe write some of your stories up and post them on the Reddit. Do it anonymously. Make sure you change names and places and that. It might be a good way for you to vent about the current situation. Also, it'll also help keep the facts clear in your mind when it comes time to talk to someone in authority about them. But I've been in a place where we had people in position of authority that were just mistreating everybody. Interestingly, I recently learned that particular person, even though I left there years ago, that particular person was fired not too long ago because they were on the rob. So there we go. Oh, hi Scott. How are you doing? No shooting in the face. It only leads to bigger problems down the line. For example, you'd be very tired after you dig the hole, to put their body in. How about we cover Hellfreezer? What? No covering of Hellfreezer. Spectre, there's no point telling Andy what to do. He He marches to the beat of his very own unique drummer. Good boy, Andy. Much better. Well, if you were just using the job to buy Christmas gifts, quit. If you don't need the money for anything else. In fact, don't even tell them you're quitting. Just stop showing up. It's Asperger's, Andy. They're someone with Asperger's. They're on the spectrum, is what they mean. Jen, thank you. Thanks for playing the serial killer from Silence of the Lambs. For my twisted pull, you say. I misread that as hello cheese. Hello, Clarice. A census taker tried to test me once. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Yeah, the place I used to work had a massive problem keeping people at one point. And this was back in the days before it got really, really bad. I remember at one point, somebody had just started, right? Seemed like a nice lad. Said, "Oh, how you doing?" Right? Well, I'm taking a week's holiday. Bye. Come back a week later. Who the hell are you? Somebody new was there. Why did they go? Yeah, but you've got to find dogs first. You know. I believe both pronounce as burgers, not as burgers. As burgers are what people who have it and don't actually have it claim it as, or Asperger's. I think both pronunciations are acceptable. I think really just depends on where you come from, as far as I know. When wasn't the book? Oh, it's been so long since I read that book. I can't even remember how that sequence went. If it was even in the book, actually, it's been so long. Hello, Element. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, just if Andy's misbehaving himself, just wrap up a newspaper or a magazine and bop him on the nose. It usually works, I find. tapping the wrong things. Stop that. There we go. Welcome back, Coral. Do you like cats and dogs? I do. I don't really want a pet though, but I like cats and dogs, sure. What's Hell Freezer's most embarrassing story? I'm sure I've told this one before about little Hell Freezer drying his buns in front of the roaring fire, dancing around, and then he fell arse first into it. Hell Freezer, is that your wife? No, that's my mother. Okay, I'll do a little bit of the wallpaper here. And I think we'll wrap it up. I don't really like that colour. Make that. Try that one. See you later, Element. Thanks for stopping in. See you next time. Yeah, this picture was before I was born. Quite a bit before I was born. Okay, has YouTube been messing about with the options in chat again? Redfish Fox. Freezer, would you be interested in narrating a marriage proposal as part of one of your introductions? Or goodbyes? I'd need a bit more information on it. I'd like to propose to my boyfriend. Well, you understand, if I ask him to marry you, it'll sound like I'm asking him to marry me, and if he says yes, then I will marry him. And you'll be left in the dust. And do you really want that? And thanks, Jen. Thanks for stopping in. You can ask a man to marry you anytime you damn well please. Video that really works there. I'll put a bit more on, see how it goes. Yeah, if you want me to do something like that for you, you just send it in and let me know when you need it done by. Funny love stories, though, it might be a bit hard to find. I mean, I could certainly put it in any video you'd like that I currently do. There's no guarantee I'd be able to do a funny love stories one, though. Oh, Fraser, do you believe in the Mandela effect? I think most of the time, it's basically just people misremembering things. But there have been occasions where it's happened to me, and I've been 100% certain, no doubt in my mind, that my memory is correct. When is the next leap year anyway? Is it 2020? Yeah, 2020, the next leap year. Hi, Regina. Virtual reality equals a holodeck. In my case, literally, my home screen and my VR thing is a holodeck. Seem to have accidentally clicked away from the chat. Let's bring that back. Come on, load up. Be a nice chat. There we go. Well, the first Woodstock, it seems like a nice idea to go there, but it must have been very, very smelly. All those hippies in a field for that long. Probably smelled of a mix of drugs, BO, and flowers. Yeah, and a few other things as well. Ziphoid. Yeah, Ziphoid. Do I have a pet? No, I don't have a pet, and I wouldn't really consider one. Okay, I think maybe it'll be time to wrap it up now. I'll just save this first. I may continue on with it next time, we'll see. No, he did, however, say Scotty beam me up in various variations thereof. But he never literally said beam me up, Scotty. Save. That'll do. Oop, there we go. Yes, well done. Before we go, what's your opinion on legal marijuana? Fine, no problem with it. Puff away. Yes, I never said hello, Clarice. He did say hello when he first met her. It was just one word. Plans do you have for the channel in 2019? I just hope the channel keeps going in 2019. Okay, and with that, I'm going to head off for now. I'm going to have a bath. What time is it anyway? Oh, it's nearly 10:30. Okay, so until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.